There's something called reality trend surfing. There's, uh, um, well, let's start over. You know, and I know that there is a whole cult of affirmations and manifestation, meditation, and trying to give yourself a certain future, give yourself a certain life that you visualize, and you write down your affirmations and visualizations and paste them on your refrigerator, and you remind yourself. Uh, you try to imagine how it would be to actually live that way and live in that reality. And um, there's a quantum physicist whose name I've forgotten, um, who talks about transurfing reality as a, a kind of, well, it's a different approach. It is something that he calls a no big deal process where you would prefer to have a certain life, but you don't get desperate about it. You basically see it as a preference, but it's not something you're clinging to the idea that you have to have that thing, that you do that with a sense of desperation. And his point is that the universe doesn't like that kind of extreme desperation. And to balance things out, it won't give it to you. I think that's hilarious. And anyway, um, he says that is much more effective to know what you want, but think of it like a movie reel out of a million other movie reels that you prefer. You just kind of would rather have that future than anything else. But then your life is fine. You'll go on, and it'll happen or it won't happen. But you don't attach a huge amount of weight to it, and you don't ever feel desperate about it. You don't ever feel like I have to have this. You're not clinging. I think that's a good way to proceed. One of the things that I do when I get um, occupied in something, like right now, I'm learning how to do YouTube videos. And I know I'm not very good, but I'm not clinging to the idea that I have to achieve an A plus every video. I'm learning. It's going in the right direction. I'm better than I was 3 months ago, but I'm not in a rush. And it'll happen when it happens, or if it happens. And in the meantime, I want to have fun. I actually just want to enjoy the process. I want to talk about things that are interesting to me, and I want to help establish some kind of clarity about it, some kind of understanding that somebody else might benefit from. You know, that's it's very simple. It's like talking to any friend where you're trying to explore an idea understand it better, and you just shine a light on it. That's all you're doing. And that kind of makes it simple. Otherwise, if you are sweating whether or not you're going to be successful and nobody's paying attention, nobody cares, well, then you quit. You know, I'm old enough to know that it doesn't work that way. I'm old enough to just enjoy the time I'm doing it just like I would if I were painting or writing. I love the process. So as long as you like what you're doing, you don't have time for desperation. You don't hang a lot of weight on success or failure. You basically are having fun. Yeah, it's work, sure, but that's what makes, the mixture of work and enjoyment. That's rare. That's something to put into your life. Anyway, something to think about.